Hey, what's going on guys? Butterbar here, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another Apex Legends video. Now, I know this video is a day late and $1 short. I know I've been kind of slacking on trying to get content to you guys, at least on YouTube. I've been trying to jump my Twitch streams back up, so if you guys are not seeing me on YouTube, definitely check me out on my Twitch channel. But I want to talk about today this post that Respawn posted about Apex Legends, about some of the weapon changes that we're going to be seeing for Season 2. There's a lot of different guns that are going to be getting a little bit of adjustments. You guys saw me use the flatline. The flatline to me, I feel like at least in the tiers of weapons is like below the Mozambique. I will definitely pick up a Mozambique before I ever pick up a flatline ever again because that gun lets me down. However, that gun is getting a weapons change. Currently right now I'm getting some nuts and bolts in my face from my boy Count as playing Pathfinder. That dude, he cares about me, man. If you want a good revive, get that man on your team. Count, oh my god, that dude will pick you up. You'll have to die first and probably actually get out of the game before he picks you up, but I mean, he'll eventually come over to you whether you're alive or not. So I want to talk to you guys, give you guys my opinion about what I think about some of these weapon changes for Season 2, but also before I get into the weapon changes, let's talk about the flyers that are actually getting introduced into Apex Legends just now. We've seen the monsters, kind of, I'd call them monsters, I don't know exactly what their names are. They're from Titanfall 1. If you guys are huge fans of Titanfall 1, you played Titanfall 1 before you played Apex Legends, you've known that we've seen monsters on the side, these giant, behemoth size animals on the outskirts of Kings Canyon. However, from Titanfall 1, there was also flyers from their campaign and from the multiplayer gameplay that were in that game, and now they are being introduced into Apex Legends. I do kind of find the funny thing about the flyers, somebody was introducing it as like a new name for what they were called, but I know at least for the Titanfall fans, for the loyal people out there from the community that know exactly what they're called, flyers have been their name ever since Titanfall 1, so it's cool to actually see them, you know, back into the environment, back into the universe of the Titanfall universe, so it's cool to see them introduced into Apex Legends, and they also have a really unique mechanic in this game. Now, you can actually shoot these things down. It's funny, you can actually just deal a lot of damage to these flyers. You can deal enough damage to where they are actually carrying a care package or a loot box that they'll drop from their talons that they're holding onto it, and it's kind of cool. You can shoot them, they'll drop it, you can actually go and loot them. Some of these death boxes actually have the names of your friends on your friends list, whether you're playing on PlayStation, Xbox, PC, so that's kind of cool that it's kind of like the drops in the Hunger Games where somebody's sponsoring a drop and you're getting some unique gear. So I thought that was kind of a cool mechanic to the flyers in this, but you can also shoot them down, yeah, and that's me. I try to shoot them down just as a funny thing to it, but yeah, you can just shoot them, they'll drop the loot box, you can pick up, you know, some of the things. It might be a blue or a purple death box, but it's just kind of those things. It's, hey, if you know what, if you're short on supplies, you can kind of shoot at the flyers and you'll shoot them down and get some of the things that some of the goodies that they're kind of hoarding around in Kings Canyon. So again, Respawn, I thought that was a really interesting thing, a really interesting PvE element, even though they don't kind of fight back. So hopefully this leads into more things later in the future for Apex Legends, where we're actually having some PvE content to kind of break up the monotony of PvP only BRs. Hopefully we get to see a little bit more of what Respawn's actually done great jobs with Titanfall 1 and Titanfall 2 with their PvE, PvP content. So hopefully with this introduction of flyers, I'm really looking forward to the future for the content that Apex Legends is needing, and hopefully brings in some more Titanfall community members. So let's talk about some of the Season 2 changes for the weapons. Now, I'm actually interested in this post because not only did it talk about some of the weapon changes in this thing, but also the ratio or what's going to be dropped in some of the in-game drops, some of the in-game care packages that hold the Kraber, the Mastiff, and now the L-Star. Some of the changes are coming to that, which I'm really interested to see how they work and what is going to be the workaround to how many people are actually going to be going after these care packages. Now, in the very beginning of this post that Respawn posted for Apex Legends, they do talk about the L-Star. The L-Star is one of the new guns, one of the new legendary guns that are going to be in the care packages, similar to the Kraber as well as the Mastiff. Now, if you're a fan of Titanfall 2, you know the L-Star is a very powerful LMG. In this, it's not going to be going off of any weapon, ammo type. It's going to be going off of its own ammo capacity, similar to the Kraber and the Mastiff. They only go off of their ammo capacities. You cannot pick up any of the ammo for this gun, and to me, from what I understand, the Titanfall 2 version of the L-Star is very powerful, and from what I'm understanding is that the L-Star in Apex Legends is just going to be almost equal to or more powerful than its counterpart in Titanfall 2. So I thought that was really interesting to see kind of where this stacks up with the not only the LMGs already in the game, but also to the legendary weapons that are dropping in game. Now, some guns in this game are not only going to be getting tuning, similar to we have the Flatline being named, the P2020 being named, the Mozambique. Guns like that are actually getting a tuning to where they're going to be a little bit more viable in this game, because again, if you're coming from Titanfall 2 and you know the Flatline was actually a pretty usable gun in that game, and you come into this game, the Flatline is garbage. Don't pick it up. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're watching this video, Flatline, if it's in front of you, just walk right past it. You don't even need it. But some guns in this game are not only getting some reworks, getting some buffs in this game, but also too, we're getting some new attachments introduced into Season 2 that actually affect a couple of the categories of guns that I know a lot of people in the very beginning of the game you pick up as, your first go gun, but as soon as you start finding some more powerful weapons, you kind of just throw to the side. You never plan on using them ever again. And the first one we'll talk about is the Disruptor Rounds attachment. Now, this is going to be for the Alternator as well as the RE45, and the description is increased shield damage. Now, I understand from what Respawn is wanting to do is that they're wanting to keep some of these guns like the RE45, the Alternator, the P2020, the Mozambique, guns that people don't really care about and they kind of throw away in the very beginning of the game once they find some better stuff. They want to see if they can keep these guns around towards endgame where people are chasing after these guns and chasing after the attachments. So some of these new attachments like the Disruptors Rounds, where you're doing increased shield damage, might entice you to keep the Alternator or the RE45. Next one is the Hammer Point Rounds. Now, this is for the P2020 and the Mozambique, and this attachment increase unshield damage. So this goes straight towards your health. Now, it doesn't say in here if it actually bypasses your shield or it just deals more damage to your health. I'm kind of going with that one. It just deals more damage to your health. And again, it's more interesting to see that because it is going to, at least from what I'm understanding, at least for weapons like the P2020 and the Mozambique already getting some tuning and some buffs in this next Season 2. I'm very interested to see how this weapon attachment with the hammer points dealing more damage is the P2020 and the Mozambique. If you're able to find these new attachments, something that players are going to be wanting to keep with them towards endgame. It's going to be one interesting thing to see, but yeah, man, P2020, Mozambique, Alternator, RE45, getting some new attachments, and it's going to be interesting to see if those guns are actually lasting till the end of the game. This is one change I'm actually very curious on that I never expected this to happen, but energy weapons are actually getting a magazine. So similar to light and heavy ammo having their own magazines, the energy ammo is also getting their new magazine. So it's going to be working similar to what the light and heavy magazines work to right now, where it increases your magazine loadout, but also is going to be increasing how fast you can actually reload your weapon. So it's going to have the same tiers of, of gray, of blue, of purple, but to me, really, the Havoc, the Devotion, the Triple Take, it'll be interesting to see what their weapon count goes to. The Devotion, for sure, it's already at 44 rounds for how fast that thing shoots out, for how much damage it deals out. It'll be interesting to see, like, how much that actually can hold, and to how much you can just kind of hold down the trigger. The Arc Star is actually getting a little bit of a workaround, or getting a little bit of a buff and nerf. It's increasing the delay time, so it's going from it's 2.5 to 2.8 delay time, so it's just a smidge of a increased delay. Sticking to full health players will now down them instantly, so that's kind of interesting to see. And players on the edge of an exploding Arc Star will no longer get their shields completely shredded. So again, to me, it's very interesting to see the buffs and nerfs to the Arc Star. Besides the grenade spam in the game, I really don't see too many people actually pushing towards to get Arc Stars in this game, so it'll be interesting to see how that works. New golden guns, they've talked about new golden weapons. I know we've seen the R301, we've seen the Wingman, stuff like that, so it'll be interesting to see what they place down as new gold weapons. Stacks of ammo in this game are going to be getting changes for shotgun and energy guns, because shotguns Legends, right now you can carry 64 ammo as a stack. That's actually getting decreased to only 16, so you can only carry 16 rounds before it goes to the next stack. So it'll be interesting to see how many people are actually rocking shotguns towards the end of a game. Energy ammo is actually getting a really good increase. I'm happy about this, going from 16 stack or 60 stack to an 80 stack. So now it's kind of on par with light and heavy ammo capacities. So again, it's going to be really nice to not only be able to pick up a lot more heavy or energy ammo, but also be able to hold a lot more before it moves into the next stack, and you're kind of slim pickings on how much inventory you have. All right, lastly, let's talk about the new airdrop. So they've actually are doing some different loot tables for these new care package airdrops that they're in-game airdrops, not like Lifelines drops. So with these new airdrops, you're gonna get the Kraber, you're gonna get the Massive. However, early game, mid game, and late game are gonna have different changes to it. So more early game drops, you're gonna see more Krabers, more health items, and stuff like that. Mid and late game, you're gonna see more Massive, you're gonna see the L-Star, but really that's just kind of the progression of what we're gonna be seeing as the circles go down, as we get into early, mid, and late game. Some of the legendary guns that we are seeing throughout the game, that's going to be changing. So you're not going to see a Massive in the very beginning of a game, which again, Massive is just, I mean, it's beautiful. The Massive is awesome. It's a great gun. But you're not going to be seeing that in the middle of a game, or the beginning of a game during Season 2. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out, but also, too, it's going to be cool to see where the L-Star fits into the whole category of weapons when it comes to legendary and also LMGs. Lastly, I just want to cover this. I'm very nervous about everything that's been kind of going on with Apex Legends. I still know there's a lot of things kind of going down with this game, with certain bugs from connection issues, hitbox issues, and stuff like that. So I'm completely down with Respawn wanting to add more content, more variety to their game, and wanting to build a bigger environment to Apex Legends. However, I probably will cover this in a different video, but I do feel like there are a lot of different changes that are needing to be made to Apex Legends. I would almost say before adding new content. Again, from connection issues to people getting leaf issues where you can't even log into hitboxes. Don't even get me started on Pathfinder's hitboxes. Again, I think there's a lot of things that need to be updated and maintenance on before adding new content, unless the intent is that some of the changes that need to be made in the game are going to be made the same time that new content is going to be pushed. So that's just one of my main concerns. Again, I'm really happy to see the flyers. I'm really interested to see how these weaponry works work and the new attachments that are being introduced in Apex Legends. But again, it's just one of those things I'm really nervous because, again, I'm having fun in Apex Legends. However, when I'm running into connection issues with the server, or I'm running into hitboxes where I'm shooting somebody and not getting hit, I get concerned. So guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what you look forward to with new flyers being introduced, as well as some new weapon changes. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you guys all next time.